In section 4, we're going to introduce the types of units. And so I'm going to always try to go back to SI units. And our basic units in SI is going to be length in meters. And so an example might be a height of a person would be 1.6 meters, and meters is abbreviated as a little m. Mass in kilograms, and an example mass of an adult person could be 72 kilograms, and kilograms is abbreviated with a little kg. And time in seconds. And an example would be time between breaths, and that could be 2.5 seconds, and I abbreviated seconds with a little s. One thing I want to note now, but we'll definitely come back to it later, is that mass and weight are different things. Mass is going to be how much material is in your body. So like how many protons and neutrons and electrons, and all of that together is going to be your mass. And weight is going to be how hard gravity is pulling on that mass. And in the United States, we tend to talk about the weight of objects. Like how many pounds do you weigh? But in science, we would prefer to talk about mass, because your amount of mass doesn't change if you're standing on the Earth or standing on the moon. But your weight would change if you were standing on the Earth or standing on the moon. And here, I'm sorry, it says is pulling on that mass. So how about an example? My mass of 72 kilograms would be the same on the Earth or on the moon, but my weight changes. On Earth, I would weigh 160 pounds, and on the moon, I would only weigh 27 pounds. The gravity is 6 times weaker at the surface of the moon, so I would weigh 6 times less. And pounds is not the SI unit. We'll come back to it later, but ideally we would want to be talking about weight in newtons. All right, metric prefixes. They can take a bit of getting used to, but once you learn them, they're an easier way to describe huge values and tiny values. And so I'm going to go over 4 that you'll probably need the most. Mega, abbreviated as capital M, means million. So 1 megameter is 1 million meters. And here's how you could write that out abbreviated. 1 megameter, capital M, and then little m for meter, is equal to 1 million meters. Kilo, abbreviated little k, means thousand. So 1 kilometer, or kilometer, is 1,000 meters. And here's a way to write that abbreviated. Centi, abbreviated with a little c, means hundredth. So 1 centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. And here's the abbreviated version of that. And if you ever mix up centi and milli, here's an easy way to keep track of it. 1 cent is 1/100th of a dollar. Or there are 100 cents in $1. Milli, sorry about the page split here, M-I-L-L-I, abbreviated with little m, is going to mean thousandth. So 1 millimeter is 1/1000th of a meter. And another way of saying that would just be that there are 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. So here you could say 1 millimeter is equal to 1,000th of a meter. All of those above that I just went through used meters. So we had megameters and centimeters, but they work with grams, they work with seconds. You can pretty much use them on whatever you want. You could have megagrams, you could have megaseconds, and that would mean 1,000,000 grams or 1,000,000 seconds. You just use that prefix and it describes your scale. If you said a centi house, I would imagine 100th of a house. Or a mega house, 1,000,000 houses. Right. So in SI, our base units are seconds and meters and kilograms. Now, it would make more sense to me if instead of using kilograms, we would just use grams, right? Because that way it would all just be the base unit. Seconds, grams, and meters. And then we could add on the kilos and the centis if we needed to. But for some reason, just history, for SI, we use kilograms as our base unit. So kilograms, seconds, and meters.